And then it just disappeared. I was holding the miter gauge in my left hand, and the screw just went into another dimension.
Based on the sound of you crawling around under the workbench for the last 10 minutes, I'm guessing it didn't find its way back.
It's gone, Alex. I've accepted it. Somewhere under that stack of walnut, there is a portal to a world made entirely of 1032 machine screws. I'm just providing them with resources at this point.
Welcome back to the Tiger Den. Tiger, maybe leave the interdimensional travel to the physicists and focus on the coffee. You look like you've been wrestling a bear.
Close. I was wrestling a 1950s drill press. But anyway, welcome everyone. Today, we're stepping away from the joiner and looking at the big picture. We're talking about the massive infrastructure boom happening right now, specifically data centers, and the massive gaping hole in the workforce that's supposed to build them.
It's a bit of a paradox, isn't it? We're all obsessing over AI, which is basically just code and math. But to make that AI work, you need massive physical buildings, miles of copper, and HVAC systems that could cool a small sun.
Exactly. Here's the thing. Nobody tells you about the digital revolution. It lives in a concrete box. And right now, America is on an absolute infrastructure tear. We are building these things faster than we can find people to wire them. It's funny. I spent half my life being told that if I didn't get a clean job, I'd be left behind. Ask me how I know that was bad advice.
Oh, I know how you know. You spent 20 years in the trades, and now you own 3 lathes and a shop that smells like sawdust and expensive oil. But seriously, you've seen this shift coming.
I have. And look, I'm a philosophy major. People forget that. I spent 4 years reading Plato and Kant, but I quickly realized that while Plato is great for a late-night debate, he's useless when your water heater decides it wants to be a fountain.
Wait, hold on. A philosophy major? I thought you were born with a hammer in your hand.
I was born with a sense of wonder and a very empty bank account, Alex. But the point is, whether you're a coder, a banker, or a philosophy major like me, the trades aren't just a fallback anymore. They are the front line of the modern economy, and the data is actually starting to back that up.
It's true. I was looking at some figures earlier. We're seeing a massive surge in demand for linemen, diesel mechanics, and carpenters. But people still have this dirty job stigma. They think it's just for people who couldn't make it in the university system.
Which is the biggest lie ever sold. Take Alan Boyer over at Clark's Auto. He's been talking about this. He's seen the shift. He had a CNC programmer, someone who writes the code for the machines, earning a top-tier salary. Then AI came along. Alan literally asked an AI to write the code for a part. It did it in seconds. He plugged it in, and the machine started cutting.
Okay, so the programmer is suddenly redundant.
The coder is. But the guy who actually knows how to set the machine, load the parts, inspect the metal, and fix the drill when it snaps, he's more valuable than ever. AI can't turn a wrench, Alex. It can't hear a weird vibration in a diesel engine or smell a gas leak. It doesn't have the mechanic's ear.
That's a great point. It's that human intuition. But if someone is sitting at a desk right now, staring at a spreadsheet and thinking, I want to be the person turning that wrench, how do they even start? It feels like a huge cliff to jump off.
It feels like a cliff, but it's actually more like a staircase. Step 1, take inventory. Most hobbyists are already jacks of all trades. You've fixed a leaky faucet. You've built a bookshelf. You have to be honest about what you actually like doing. Do you like puzzles and getting zapped? Go electrical. Do you like seeing a building rise from the dirt? Carpentry? Are you okay with, well, matter out of place? Plumbing might be the one.
Matter out of place. That is the most philosophy major way to say human waste I've ever heard.
Hey, I paid 40 grand for that vocabulary. Let me use it. But seriously, the transition isn't as scary as people think. There are pre-apprenticeship programs, like 12-week courses, that bridge that gap. You don't have to go back to school for 4 years.
I think a lot of our listeners are also worried about the age thing. We have guys in their 40s and 50s listening who are burnt out. They've spent 20 years in middle management, and they just want to build something real. Is it too late for them?
Not even close. In fact, if you're over 50, you're actually a dream candidate for many shops. You have a work ethic. You're organized. You show up on time, which, let's be honest, is 80% of the battle in the trades. I knew a guy who switched from accounting to HVAC at 48. He said the stress of a failing compressor was nothing compared to the stress of tax season. Plus, he could actually see the result of his work at the end of the day.
There is something psychological about that, right? The I did this moment.
It's everything. Here's the thing nobody tells you about the trades. It's not just about the money, though the money's getting ridiculous. It's about being unfireable. If the economy tanks, people might stop buying NFTs or whatever the tech bro trend of the week is. But their toilets will still clog, their data centers will still need cooling, the power lines will still go down in a storm.
So, let's talk trades. If you were starting today, Tiger, knowing what you know about the infrastructure tear, unstana there uzabawam infraseno aminirin, ino main cranion sars. Awenth ilms, where would you put your chips?
Linemen, hands down.
Really? Isn't that incredibly dangerous?
It is. You're working with high voltage, often in bad weather. But there is a brotherhood there that you don't find in a cubicle. And the pay? I know linemen making double what some junior partners at law firms make. Plus, you're the hero when the lights go out and you're the guy on the pole in a blizzard bringing them back on. That's better than any Employee of the Month plaque.
What about diesel mechanics? You were talking about that earlier.
Oh, that's the unsung backbone. Everything, literally everything you own was on a diesel truck or a locomotive at some point. And those engines are becoming like spaceships. They've got emission systems, complex electronics. You need a degree in logic just to troubleshoot them. But at the end of the day, you're still using a 2-foot breaker bar to get a nut off. It's the perfect blend of high tech and hit it with a hammer.
Hit it with a hammer, the universal reset button. But you mentioned something interesting about Alan Boyer using AI in his shop. He's not fighting it. He's using it to write SOPs and analyze data.
That's the secret. Don't be the guy who hates the new tech. Be the guy who uses the new tech to spend more time on the craft. Use the AI to handle the boring paperwork so you can get back to the engine. We've always done this. In the 80s, it was fuel injection. In the 90s, it was online manuals. Every time, people said, the trade is dying. And every time, the people who adapted just became more efficient.
It sounds like the trade warrior of 2025 is a very different beast than the one from 1980.
They are. They're smarter, they're better equipped, and they're in way more demand. But the core is the same: curiosity. If you want to get into this world, the first step isn't buying a $5,000 tool chest. It's taking something apart in your garage just to see how it works. It's asking, why did this break? Instead of, who do I call to fix it?
So, for the person listening who's holding a lukewarm coffee in an office building right now, feeling like a cog in a machine, what's the move?
Start small, go to a trade school open house, look into a pre-apprenticeship, but mostly change your mindset. Stop looking at your DIY hobby as an escape from work and start looking at it as a foundation for work. Your guidance counselor might have told you that the trades were for people who couldn't make it, but ask me how I know that guidance counselor is currently waiting 3 weeks for a plumber they can't afford.
Burn. But it's true. The leverage has shifted.
It has. The world is built by people who aren't afraid to get their hands dirty. And honestly, the dirt washes off. The satisfaction of building something that will outlast you, that stays.
I think that's a perfect place to leave it. We're building the future, quite literally.
Exactly. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go back to my interdimensional search for that miter gauge screw. I think I heard it mocking me from behind the bandsaw.
Good luck with that. Eightas meows sunselds. Dos so senshi. In original than a dugstern dane sin a bayo. Sega erdin alburns.
Stay curious and keep your fingers away from the blade. Sound of the garbage door closing, tools clinking, and the fade out of a bluesy acoustic guitar riff.